Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another great episode of Basscast Radio. I'm your host, Brian Carter. And guys, the team is back in the house tonight. Thomas Aaron's of Fishing the DMV. For you guys who are watching on YouTube, below me right here, and to my right, to my left, however you want to say it, Hank the Bass Geek. Welcome back, everyone. Guys, really want to thank everyone for coming back with us tonight. Last week, guys, we have a really great show. We had the gentleman on from Major League Fishing, and we kind of learned a lot, really, about how they all run their tournaments and how it's all set up. Thomas has some really freaking great questions as always, but great show there. But let me see here. I want to head on over here. If you guys haven't checked out our latest podcast, we got a new one up. Hopefully, you guys have all checked it out. It's called the Bass Vault. It drops every Wednesday. It's just a 5-minute podcast. It's stories that have been written by our writers. So head on over now and check it out. The Bass Vault, wherever you listen to podcasts. It is an audio version only. So, like I said, 5 minutes, great information, can make your day. Also, for you guys out there, we're giving away some sunglasses. That's right, Bill Dance sunglasses. It's a special edition set of sunglasses. It's 3 pairs of sunglasses, all in this kit. It's $99. You heard me? It's a $99 value, and it's yours free. All you got to do is head on over right now to thebasscast.com and enter to win. And like I said, you get a chance to win. I will tell you, all the email addresses we are collecting goes for our newsletter. I mean, I got to get something for it. Come on, man. So it goes help our newsletter grow on the line. If you haven't subscribed to that, please do so as well. But that's it for me introing this bad boy here. What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing? We'll hit Geek up first since he wasn't here last week. Let's see what's going on in Geek's world.
Well, I don't know if I talked about this with you all, but apparently I'm back in YouTube jail. So apparently March the 30th?
No,
May the 30th? Yeah, May the 30th.
It's June now.
Yeah. We had another attempt to hack the channel. And so Google caught it. We cut them off at the pass, and but apparently that threw a red flag, and we went from doing 12,000 views to 1,500, and
wow,
from May to June. I mean, you can go literally look at the May numbers, and they're off the charts. I told you, I was like, we were out of jail. We're doing good, man. Things are, and then it's like literally things just nosedive. They've some of the worst numbers I've seen since the original hack. So that, and I did right around about the same time. I did send a strongly worded email to YouTube about the porn bot situation, which seems to be running rapid on YouTube for a lot of creators. So
wow.
So yeah.
Thanks, Russia.
Yeah, I think they maybe didn't like that too much too. So I'm sure it'll take us another 3 months to get back out of YouTube jail again. Yay! Let me just go work my ass off for free.
That is ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know why. I feel like I'm getting targeted so hard, but it's really getting old. I mean, it's demoralizing, and
it's a bass fishing channel. It's nothing, I don't understand what it is. I guess it's just, with your subs, it really doesn't matter what it is. If you make X amount of money, just saying, if you make X amount of much money per month, if they charge you $10,000 and you're gonna make that $10,000 back up in 3 months, they done won. You got your numbers back, and blah blah blah. And I guess that's how they look at it. But it's pretty daggone sad, the whole entire thing.
It's been rough, man. I
Mhm.
I got the emails and then got to work and logged on and kind of went in and checked. And sure enough, there was something I can advise anybody that has a YouTube channel. Make sure you're keeping an eye on the permissions. You should have an account and a person you trust that has access to that in case they hack your device, which I do. And
Wow.
make sure you're going in there and checking them on the regular because like I said, they had stopped it. Now what was odd was apparently they had spoofed my uh, address, maybe my Mac, because according to the suspicious activity report from Google, it was actually coming from my laptop, which was off and in its bag at the time.
Mm.
So yeah, so it wasn't me this time. I didn't open anything I shouldn't have. But yeah. So we'll fight through it. We'll put out some stuff, and we got a Starlink. We're going to start doing some live stuff. I don't know that we're going to do that regularly. We'll do it when we can, but we're going to do it by the time this comes out. Hopefully, we've had a successful test of that in the mountains. If not, if it don't work in the mountains, Elon, I'll be sending it back before it's 30 days.
Boom. Yeah, we're pretty excited. The boys have gotten Starlink here, and we're really excited to see what happens to that and the content that comes from that. We've all watched Chris Zaldane, whether you're a fan or not. He's got that thing hooked up. He is streaming for the entire event. I watched a little bit the other day. It's pretty daggone interesting, pretty cool. I kind of like it because it's how like if you guys have watched NASCAR and they say crank it up and you don't hear anybody talk for about 15-20 minutes. It's kind of just sounds like that. It's nice and peaceful, and maybe Geek's dropping a few hints, a few tips out there on the water, and the rest of the time we're just kind of watching and seeing what happens and what he does and how he reacts, and it's pretty freaking cool. And we're ready to hopefully see some great content from both of you all. Thomas, how close are you to getting yours kind of set up, boss man?
Right now, I'm just making sure I have the right clamp. I have a pretty cool setup. I'm going over the top right now. I have a cop car style laptop mount, so I can actually use that to hook up my microphones and everything. Can have multiple camera angles and also be able to write stuff on the screen. So when I have 6 pounds, it'll come across the screen as 6 pounds. So now I'm just trying to figure out how to hook all this stuff up and get it on the boat. So that's the biggest thing. If I ever get a job, I hope I do. I'm gonna get a metal mount just like Logan has on his boat in Bassmasters, which is almost like a platform over your motor. That way I can bolt it and it's out of the way, so I can fish team tournaments and it won't actually get to be an issue. Because I think the live streaming has some merit. Now the hot thing is I'm trying to figure out how to put it on my kayak because it's such easy money to float a river for smallmouth with whatever bait, and you'll just catch 500 little smallmouth or rock bass or whatever. I just don't know how to get the equipment on there yet. But once I figure out that mathematical formula, we're gonna be lights out.
I've got a little river that I want to do that, but you weight it, so I'm gonna have to make a hat out of it, basically.
Yeah. Oh my goodness!
So guys, make sure you tune into Fishing the DMV and Bass Geeks YouTube channel, both channels, so that way you can catch the live streams when they do go live. And hopefully by now, like I said, we've done a really great successful test. But guys, it's been a great week here at the basscast.com. Lots of great brand new content's been coming out. We're right here a little slow. Tournament season, we're summer. Our first day of summer was Saturday. This comes out on Monday, guys. The first day of summer, and we're already getting some 90 degrees around here. So water temperature should be popping up a little bit. By the time this comes out, I will be done with the James River. I'm heading to the James River for the Major League Fishing Tackle Warehouse event. So really excited to get to hang out with BLAC and a lot of other great anglers that fish the Tackle Warehouse series. And then next week, we're going to be going up to the Potomac River for the Major League Fishing with me and Thomas. Major League Fishing. The Bass Pro Series is going to be up there. I I'm hoping Saturday. I'll probably just do Saturday and Sunday on that. That's the game plan. Just get up early Saturday and ride on up and hang out. Thomas, if you want to hang out, and then come on home Sunday after it's all done. So that's the game plan there. So really excited about that. But guys, if you haven't are not a Patreon member of Thomas's and haven't fished any of his kayak, bass, boat, multi-species, whatever Thomas does, he does a great job with that. You guys all know that the Basscast.com sponsored this event, so me and Thomas going to get together here real quickly here and get you guys some plaques and all the great stuff handed out. But Thomas, give us an update. What's happening with that? It has wrapped up. And what's the plans in the future for your tournaments?
It has wrapped up. It was it was a blast, and actually I have on here, I have this little spreadsheet that, of course, the spreadsheet doesn't want to pull up as soon as you want it to. Where is it? Right here. So, okay, cool. So I had over 500 fish actually caught during this event, which was absolutely incredible. Over a month to have that amount of fish brought in. 553. Smallmouth bass was 316. Largemouth bass was 211. I like to do little side pots for fun because it's just really interesting to have a bunch of grown men getting passionate to try to catch the biggest bluegill for $100. It's just, I have a sick sense of humor. So there was 10 bluegill caught. There were 5 rock bass caught, 6 crappie, and then there were 6 snakehead. That was part of the side pot. The guy that won missed the state record of Virginia by 2 inches. How big of a snakehead he caught. Yeah, it was massive. It was a big old dog. So dude, that's a dragon. You set the hook onto that thing, it will buckle your tackle. We also did Big Fish Awards because, as we've talked about, I think 2 shows ago, we're in smallmouth country from Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. So my Big Fish Awards for the smallmouth was based on the state you caught it in. So the biggest smallmouth in Maryland waters, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. And so the biggest Maryland was 21.25 inches. Okay. The biggest Pennsylvania was 20.50 inches. And then the biggest in Virginia waters was 20.5. And then Brucey also made the list. He finished in the top 5, by the way, for the mixed bag division. Brucey had the 3rd largest largemouth, 23.25 inches.
Oh, wow. That thing was long. If you guys did not see it, that thing was like super long.
Absolutely monsters.
I think we end up using that for the newsletter, guys, by the way. And plus, you guys can follow Bruce on Instagram. He's pretty heavy there. So follow Bruce on Instagram. But yeah, that thing was like, I mean, it's gonna wrap my hand. It's gone. But that thing was super long. It was real skinny, kind of, but it was really freaking long. So I mean,
I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, well, I got the image up here. I thought I was sharing the screen the whole damn time. There. So this is Bruce's fish right here, 23.25 inches. Absolute monster. The biggest largemouth of the tournament was 24.25 inches. The head on this thing looks like a baby. It's insane the fish can get that freaking big. That's just monster. And again, to show you the power of just in my rivalry here with Bass Geek, these are all the tournaments this guy's entered into. He's like entered 36 tournaments for this fish. So there is the ability to like double dip, which is absolutely crazy. This one right here, it wasn't the biggest, but with the guy's hand, unless he was a hobbit, that thing is thick. That was a thick 22.5 inch fish. And then we'll get down here to the fun Big Fish Awards here, which is 33 inch snakehead. Biggest crappie was 14.75. Biggest bluegill was 10 inches, which is a big old bluegill.
Wow.
And the biggest rock bass was 11 inches. So absolutely crazy. I did an 8 fish limit because apparently, I don't know, I'm a rebel. Jacob won the smallmouth division with 163.0 inches. And then we can scoot on over to first place for the largemouth division, which is 173.50 for the mixed bag division as well. A lot of fun. And the next tournament, we're probably going to do 4th of July weekend through Labor Day. And I don't know how I'm going to do the format. Each tournament so far, I like to kind of mix up the formats a little bit to try to just play around to see what people like. I don't know if I'm going to do every fish counts or maybe more of like a big bass power, like a power hour. Every week we just give away smaller prizes for bigger fish. But it's a lot of fun. And the coolest thing is this, still, I will always say this, smallmouth bass have the coolest color patterns. Like a largemouth is green. Smallmouth are brighter bronze. They're a darker brown. It's so crazy. The different rivers, they just have different color patterns, which I think is neat.
All right. So for you guys that don't know, to be eligible to fish these tournaments, you have to be a Patreon member. Thomas, go ahead, drop your Patreon real quick and tell people what they need to do and how to get signed up and what they can kind of get also for being a Patreon member on top of being eligible to fish these tournaments.
So yeah, you get to fish all these tournaments. I do 5 tournaments a year, and basically because of Patreon sponsorships and YouTube, I can guarantee about $2,500 cash prizes. Whether I have one person sign up or 1,000, I can guarantee that kind of payout, which is pretty good in the industry for what you get for it. For $6 a month right now, which is less than a pack of Sinkers or jackhammer chatterbait, you get 5% off your orders to Jake's Bait and Tackle, 10% off your orders to Tiger Crankbaits, 10% off your orders to Catoctin Creek Rods. You also might get a date night with Brian or Hank too. I might throw that in there as well. You get membership to our private Facebook group page. And then also, when I fish tournaments, I never really talk about my tournaments on the podcast, but I talk about it on Patreon. So I will take a picture of every single bait I throw, anything that's hot, that's automatically on Patreon. All the goods that are important for you to have success, I will talk about on Patreon, because that way it's I'm not just telling it to the world, which would probably make a lot of my friends mad. You have to at least be part of the private group, but I'm very transparent about everything, about rivers, lake stuff, what's hot based on what the guides have told me and stuff, and how you can kind of have success. I had a Patreon member called me up, said he's going to Lake Anna for the first time, and I told him, yep, do this, this, and this, and he had a great day with his son, first time ever on the lake. So that's the kind of access you get with Patreon with me, is that transparency. We'll have an open dialogue. I'll help you out in any way I can so you can have success on the water.
All right, so I know we spoke about it on the show, guys. You're close to 200, correct? Or have you hit 200 yet?
We hit 200. So I'm keeping it open a little bit longer because sadly, to bring the mood down a little bit, I did get doged by the government, so I did lose my job. And then my wife's the puppy's birthday is today. She jumped out of a vehicle at 25 miles an hour, and she fractured her leg massively. And she was in the ICU this past Saturday through Monday, and they had to get a surgeon to come in out of state to put her leg back together. We just brought her back from the hospital, but because the medical bill for that is over $13,000, I'm going to open the Patreon for a little bit longer so we can pay our mortgage. Everyone, don't get into bass fishing. Become a veterinarian surgeon. You will make so much money. And they want cash up front. There's no insurance. They're just pay us or we put the dog down. It's like, oh, wow, makes this decision really clear, doesn't it?
Wow. Okay. Yes. Hey, talking about that story, I had the dog we had. It was an older dog, and luckily the car wasn't moving that fast. I only took her up and I never. She rode in the truck a few times, but I was going up to the store, and I pulled into the parking lot, and she just decides to jump out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing, you stupid, wonderful animal?" And I was like, "Get your butt back in here." So, I mean, I stopped. She jumped back in, rolled up all the windows. But, yeah, I mean, it's happened to me before, and that's just scary.
Especially when they're crying and stuff, and you think you ran them over, and it's your wife's dog.
God.
So you have to like call her up on the phone and be like, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to make it to the family function because I probably just killed your dog. I'm going to the emergency vet." We can laugh now. So let's talk about, I don't know, concentration camps or something more cheerful. Or random.
So all you guys know, Tenkiller just wrapped up Bassmaster Elite Series.
That event was fun to me because I think the last time that they were there was with when Carl Jakobsen won, right?
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And, that was, having an angler come from behind. I mean, not really from behind. Mm-hmm. You have one angler lead the whole entire time, and then their whole entire pattern goes away. And, I mean, I posted on there, we're going to have, someone run away with it. But then the final day. But a lot of these rookies are so daggone strong. That was another rookie that was leading. Do you have his name up, Thomas? It was. Can you bring it up?
Yes. Wait, I can share my screen. Hold I have the power now. I have the power.
But yeah,
5
so
seconds.
I mean,
We had Wes Logan. Here we go. Boom. We have Wes Logan, Andrew Logberg, Kyle Welcher, Brandon Card.
And like we were saying earlier, seeing Brandon Card have a great finish like that after he had a great season in 2024. And, it's kind of started off a little, not the best season for 2025, but he definitely needed that finish right there.
And this was a tight tournament too, honestly. Like it was you had a chance on the last day. A lot of these Elite Series events, it feels like by day 3, it's kind of set in stone, the 1-2 people that have a chance.
Yeah.
Launching on Sunday, a lot of people legitimately had a shot to take the crown, which is fun.
I think they said I was actually watching part of the final today. Just after the fact, and I think they said that there was only like what was it, 10 or 12 5-pounders caught in that. So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that lake's not that lake's really not known for giant bass.
Yeah.
And it was coming from their last tournament, which everyone got upset. I watched a video a couple weeks ago about they went from Texas to catching from that that homegrown body of water where these freaking giant 10-pounders are to moving up to catching 1 to 2 pounders and then moving over and fishing 10 killer, and it really wasn't much. If you caught a 5-pounder, I mean that was like a giant.
That was a big deal. Like 3-pounders were, it kind of reminds me of the lakes that I fish, because not quite as like mountainous highlands, but the quality of fish. Like they were talking about that race to 15 pounds. Like that race to 15 pounds is kind of what they were keyed on. And then if you could catch one kicker, because that's what got Wes Logan, right? The guy that won it.
Yeah.
That's what got him. That's what pulled him so close in the day 3, I believe it was, is that he caught one of the 5s and snugged him up tight. And then he caught 2 good kickers there in that later in that tournament on the final day.
A lot of these tournaments are a lot closer than I thought they were. I mean, you look at like Lake Hartwell, it was 68, 67, 66. Let's see, Sabine, 38. My God, are they in the Ohio River? 38, 36, 36. That one is pretty crazy. The St. John's, 73.14, 73.10, 73.9. I can't believe that was so tight. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a really close year. I mean, like you said, it's been really, really tight, really, really competitive. And, don't want to bring up the forward-facing sonar mess, but I mean, we're going to dive into it in a minute because we all know Bassmaster made a decision this past week.
Yep.
And that's really a good debate right there, boys and girls. If that's, we can talk about, but it's you have to have that lunker bass right now this season. If you don't have the giant, whatever body of water you're on, a lot of the guys know the averages. They're watching other tournaments. They're seeing what's happening. So they're going to have an idea that I need to have at least a 5 or 6-pounder each day to have a chance at collecting a check, because it is so daggone tight.
The last 2 tournaments have been, I don't understand why anybody could complain about the last tournament, which was on the Sabine. I mean, there's definitely no live scope getting used in these last 2 tournaments.
That was the video I posted up. And I don't know why I can't remember the angler's name. And I kind of screenshotted the video and I put it up on our social media. And he was just talking so much about that. You guys were pissed off that the tournament before that, everybody's staring at the screen, but they were catching giant bass. But then he went to Sabine, and catching 1 and 2 pounders. Nobody's looking at forward facing sonar because it did him no good. And you're pissed off about that.
Are you telling me social media is just an echo chamber of just suck? But it's like we talked, Brian, you and I talked about this a long time ago. It's like that was the problem in the steroid era in baseball was they were like, they're cheating, but our numbers are amazing. They're so good because chicks dig the long ball. And you go to the fork and you're catching these 10 pounders and then you post on Monday, this is the best viewership we've ever had in the history of fishing. And then you follow it up with the title version of the Ohio River.
Right.
It was a bad look. It was a really bad look, man, I think. And
so Kyle Patrick did that video. He's driving home in his truck. Yeah, he's driving home in his truck and he did that video. And it really did, he's like, for Christ's sake, what do we have to do to make you guys happy? I mean, you're pissed if we're looking at forward facing sonar. You're pissed if we're catching dinks. What do you want us to do?
You ignore them. If you are a company, you take a page from Chick-fil-A's book. When people are like, how dare you do this and this? And we're like, listen, buddy, we're Chick-fil-A. This is what we do. Put up or shut up. And you know what happens? A lot of them voices go away. But when you're Bassmaster and you're overreacting to everything left and right, you're telling the crazies that they're in charge and you're not in charge. And that kind of gets with the rule that it's so, we'll get into it when it's time, but yeah, I got some thoughts on
it. So move forward here a little bit. Hot topic this week in Bassmaster was the vote that they had. And the vote was to ban forward-facing sonar. Now, this was the vote by the anglers. So the anglers themselves voted to ban forward-facing sonar, and then you guys all know we had him on. I think we had John Cruz on, and because he was the president, he got elected the president of the board for Bassmaster, and they decided to go 50-50. And I was told through the grapevine that one of the fish finders said, if you ban it, we're gone. It's going to be, I hate to say it, it's going to be one of them things where, like you were just saying there a minute ago, Thomas, you're just going to have to either say, fuck you, you can just leave. You know what I'm saying?
Which I think there's multiple things here. And this is what really, I think, made me mad in the comment sections of when this went down was, yes, Bassmaster is allowed to do this, but then also a company's allowed to pull out if it doesn't seek with their values too. The people in the comment section, how dare this company pull out? It's like, no. That's how this works. They built their brand or a lot of their money on this technology. And you're saying like, I want to get rid of this technology, but I still want you to pay me. Yes, it's called consequences for your actions. It's that to me is where that is the most have your cake and eat it too. People not understanding. I want this ban, but I also want you to pay me. It just blew my mind.
I mean, your companies, even fishing companies, and and I've learned this through growing the channel and talking to these companies. And, you'll get these haters who come up and they're like, well, you don't ever fish tournaments. No, but, I talk about baits and people buy them. People buy them a lot of times more than they'll buy those baits or those products from people like, some mid-tier Joe Blow that we've heard of one time this entire season. Yeah. And, who doesn't do any social media, at all. These companies are not there to support tournament fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's been in the past because it's been their only avenue. They're there to sell shit and make money, people. Let's not think that if everybody turns on forward facing sonar, that in the end, the electronics companies are going to stay there. If you want to stay in the caveman, ooga booga, we flip, we pitch, because that's what you do on your home lake 90% of the time, Chick-fil-A ain't sponsoring no damn body.
Yeah,
There's no outside the industry people. So if you like tournament fishing, you better go ahead and get right with the electronics companies.
And just go fish the NPFL. It's there. Go do it. It's working great. But yeah, that's also pissing me off. It's like all these people that are going to stay at Bass and complain and this is, again, I would say Bass's problem too. It'd be like, dude, there's a door. There's the NPFL. Go fish them.
Yeah.
Like, it's this idea, like, I want to go into your restaurant and I want you to change the whole menu for my needs and what I want.
Yeah.
That is annoying as a business owner, I think.
We've actually,
and you know, look, I got no problem with the NPFL, but I remember back in high school when the new chick showed up, you know, she could be like a 4 or 5 and everybody was treating her like a 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I remember when the FLW showed up and it was the greatest thing and it was the BASS killer. It wasn't. I mean, let's see what you do different, because so far you followed that early FLW game plan. That game plan's already there. It's easy to follow. What's next?
I think Bass is hurting. I think this is a huge turn of events. Again, how many times have I said this on the show where Major League Fishing was like, dude, if we're boxing, we're going 12 rounds. We look ugly in the first rounds, like you're fighting Rocky, and Rocky's getting his face beaten, but he knows in the later rounds. And all of a sudden, the tide flips somewhere, and Bass just isn't looking as strong. Like BPT this year is pretty good. Like, all in all, it was a solid schedule. A lot of on the water, like, fun drama to watch. And Bass has just been I don't know. I'm worried that maybe we're watching the death throes of Bassmaster.
I don't think it would die. I think someone would buy them first. But I really
that not death?
Well, yeah, same. But I really do see them imploding from the inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Them beating themselves up so bad from the inside that, you know, it will sooner or later just be, hey, we're up for sale.
It's like the Randy Blockett effect where, shout out Randy if you're watching, where the videos that went viral were a certain type. So he kept doing those videos, which attracted those people, which then he created this self-fulfilling prophecy where he only attracted people that wanted this specific content.
Oh, yeah.
And it created this monster. And I think Bass kind of did that to themselves with all the drama and the hate, and they attracted it and they wanted it because it fed them. But now the Hydra is out of control.
I've got some friends in the you know, with including me on the media side of it, and you know, they're they go to the NPFL. They actually picked up a couple contracts in NPFL. What they do is they handle social media for a lot of these anglers and promote them and create some HD quality, great quality video and all that great stuff for them. But they said so nice at the NPFL. It's so quiet, you know. It's none of this bickering and stuff, none of this yelling. I mean, hell, I mean, there was an argument that went down up there at Smith Mountain Lake when I was up there for the Major League Fishing event up there on Smith Mountain Lake. I mean, between 2 anglers. So, I mean, you know, it never got, you know, it was handled on the water. I never saw it, but I got to hear some of the back end of it. So, I mean, I don't know. You know.
How crazy would it be, Brian, if in 5 years Boyd Duckett buys Bass? That's a crazy book to write from way back when to go all the way to where he sits on that throne. Wow.
I don't know if it'd be Boyd. I think it'd be more of Mr. Bass Pro Shop himself, which pretty much owns, you know, Major League Fishing already. So, I mean, you know, he just got Boyd to run it. It's his pawn.
But the question comes down, are they really hurting financially?
Bass?
Like, are they? I mean, they're reporting, I mean, you know, the Fox deal's got to be pretty, you know, halfway decently lucrative. I mean,
and right now we don't have any real sports.
They did at least lower the payouts. They also reported that, you know, they're getting great numbers. Now, you know, we all know that all bass leagues, you know, skew those numbers, you know, but that's what it's going to come down to financially. I mean, we don't see anybody. Yeah, you know, sure, a few people left and went to the NPFL, but I mean, wasn't they all like 90?
I'll be honest, the ones that did
my age.
Yeah, the ones who did leave, officially leave. Now, a lot of the guys are fishing both series.
Yeah.
But the ones that did leave, were pretty much the ones that were already, just please give it up and give someone else a chance. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You had your opportunity. It's time for you to go.
I mean, it wasn't like the ones, other than Welcher, let's just face it. And Welcher, he's a machine.
Yeah.
Is, 90% of the other guys were just, it wasn't like they were winning anything anyway. Christie, yeah, sure. But
because Christie won the last NPFL event.
Yeah. Hartwell.
Hartwell. So
yeah, it's fascinating because it will come down like, are they hurting for money? What do the sponsors want to do? Like, I think regular bass fans, a lot of them are really, really stupid. Where it's like, well, they're just going to tell that electronics company just to beat it because it's bass. It's been here forever. It's like, no, honey, no, sweet pea. That's not how this works. Like, the electronic companies probably have either the most or second most money invested, do you think, in the fishing industry?
Right behind
behind the boat, behind the boat motor company.
Yeah, like big dogs.
I'm gonna guess Bass is sponsored by Mercury, Humminbird, so we know who told them don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the boat is, but
I think it's Ranger boats.
So Johnny Morris.
Yeah, there you go. So if it's Ranger,
I don't have Bassmaster magazine in the boss's office, but they have been showing a lot of extra airtime. There's not a lot of sports going on right now. We don't have football yet, and I think college basketball is done. So, and I know they don't have NBA. NBA's it used to be the old TNT and ESPN. So they are playing a lot of extra coverage. I know the last event they were doing some extra coverage of the Bassmaster events, and I'm not sure how that contract works out there. And then you guys all know they came out that series a year ago, and it came out part 2 this year. So that extra coverage right there. So, you kind of wonder what really is kind of keeping the whole thing afloat right now. And, TV does pay well. That was what Major League Fishing was banked on with the CBS contract. And who was the other TV? You guys could probably comment below. There was another TV channel that they signed up for originally. And this is originally, guys, when they first started Major League Fishing. And
Outdoor channel.
Yeah, that's right. The Outdoor channel. And that all kind of dissolved. And then Jack Links left. So, it's kind of been a little building year for Major League Fishing as well.
I think they killed the Cups by doing some of the stuff they did.
Yeah.
I think once they killed the Cups, because that was the highest rated show on
it was good television, man.
Which, I'm sure that's not very hard.
That was, dude. That was the best show ever. The Major League Fishing stuff. My God, that was so much fun to watch.
The Cup series, man. It's to me. That's what everything that they should have learned from the Cup series, they screwed up in the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it should have been the same format. It should have been the same way. Sure. Take the 50 anglers or the 75, whatever you want to do. But it should have been the same exact format. You should have told them where they were going, or, at least not until the last minute. And I understand the logistics of that, but it's what made it so great because it was so relatable.
Oh, yeah.
To what we do every weekend. Thomas, you always give me hell about fishing the same 2 lakes, but it's like 5 or 6. But it's because I've fished it over the years. It's like I was telling Mike. We were on South Holston probably later than I've ever been on South Holston ever, because most of the time there's a bite on Douglas that I like by the end of May, and I'm down there fishing. And then by the time that one's up, I go to Top Secret Lake P because there's a bite there that I like. So. You still have to adjust every time you go out as a weekend warrior. And I think that's what really made the Cubs great, was because you went out with no information, you went out with no practice, and everybody was okay with watching a pro catch a 1-pounder. You know why? Because he didn't know shit about where he was and what he was doing, and you know, he was just trying to figure it out.
And this was before forward-facing sonar too. It's a weird thing to say, like this is a weird time thing. Like the Cubs kind of ended or started to peter out when scope became a thing. And so if you catch a 1-pounder and you're just chucking a spinnerbait along the bank, it's one thing. I think another thing with scope, you're going to catch bigger fish. Yes, you're putting down at the screen, but in general, you're going to catch the bigger fish that are in an estuary versus if you just go down Lake Blank and then just like you're hoping to hit pay dirt. Which, dude, the industry's changing. I just have this gut feeling things are going to be shaken up the next couple of years. Like the show we did last week, I had thoughts on logistics win wars and build countries, and to have them on there to talk about. Yeah, we have one trailer for the big league and the invitational, so we have to figure out to move that around. Or I think he only said we had 6 trailers.
Yeah,
for all the BFLs in the United States. So that means 6 people have to be putting a lot of time behind the steering wheel to move all this crap around the United States to get to it, which is like no one. Okay, you want them to come to your lake. The trickle down effect is this trailer needs to be in Tennessee and then it needs to be in North Carolina and then maybe in Virginia. And somebody has to work all that out. And that costs a lot of money. I mean, damn. Which the kayak thing. I think that solidifies more about the kayak thing. You don't have to worry about all those. How much money? I would love to know their spreadsheet when it came to that. And how much are you spending moving all that stuff around? And what if I could just poof, all that goes away and that's in your pocket? And I think that's what Bassmaster sees.
You know, I don't want to say anything. I mean, I do, but you know, anglers really don't understand. And I mean, I know they kind of understand, but not really understand what really goes in behind the scenes. I hope you guys all go watch that episode. It's a great show. And I mean, really what goes on behind the scenes to make you have a tournament you can fish on a Saturday where you can take home a pretty good paycheck or money, extra money, maybe make a boat payment or two. It's a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes that we don't see, don't hear. And I mean, hell, that happens just here locally. I mean, just for me trying to set up, I mean, me and Danielle set up here and go through the whole entire tournament series, all the tournaments going on, and try to get a ramp, and then try to get the same ramp. I mean, I had to move like 3 or 4 different events around just trying to get our little Basscast tournament trail schedule put together. Try to put together something of the BFL size.
Every BFL in the United States, everyone that's listening to this, go onto their website, check that out. That is all organized by 2 people. Have to figure out every single BFL in the United States. That is very probably their alcoholic job to try to do that every year. Everyone you have to call. What if there's a rain delay? What do you do as a backup? And then people complain. It's like, well, why are they putting these events back to back? Logistics, baby. That's why. Saves them a lot of hassle. If you put the Piedmont division, the Shenandoah division, well, how can we stack these bad boys at Smith Mountain Lake? Because that saves us a lot of time.
They do it on Dale Hollow too. They do it on Dale Hollow. I think they did it on Watts Bar or Cherokee.
The James River, they stacked that one. So I need they usually do Shenandoah, and then 2 weeks later, or maybe a week later, it's the Piedmont. So I mean, I know they kind of stacked that one as well, so they don't have to keep moving the trailer, and they just lock it up and leave.
And why are they stacking now? Why are they stacking now? Out of all these years, why now? Money. Money is tighter.
We've always done it
I
around
feel,
here.
Well, not around us. Usually you don't generally stack on the Potomac or the James back to back like a Saturday, Sunday. And the Smith thing is semi-new, if my recollection.
Well, yeah, that was because of a scheduling issue this year's back to back. I mean, like Saturday,
Sunday.
Piedmont, and I mean Shenandoah, and then Sunday was a Piedmont. And I think that was a big scheduling issue is what that ended up coming down to. But yeah, that part's really rare right there. But I mean, you guys all know here, Angler's Choice Team Tournament Trail. It's changed a little bit this year. New people running it. But in the past, I want to say 5 years prior to this year, they started doing their stack. Like you fish and when you fish tournament number 1 on Saturday, tournament number 2 on Sunday, on Smith. Then you went to Bugs and fished tournament number 3 on Saturday and tournament number 4 on Sunday. And the championship was held whichever lake they decided. They fished Smith and Bugs, but whichever year random for their championship. But it was because vacation time, money, paying people to show up to run these events. I mean, if you're gonna ruin my weekend, you might as well just ruin the whole damn thing. And let's get this thing over with.
It's also going to look better on the payouts because, like, when they do it, most time when they do it around here, it's multiple divisions,
right? So
it's not the same division doing it. It's it's the mountain and the volunteer, or the mountain and the choo-choo or something like that. Well, hell, if I'm going to go fish a tournament on Saturday and I'm going to put in 2 days of practice at least, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and fish Sunday tournament too, because that kind of goes back to I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, that would just be unless you just have to be home or something. Why wouldn't you? You're taking a chance of 1 weekend, 2 paychecks,
So here's the thing. If this becomes the norm, which if I was in there, she'd be like, dude, every tournament you pair up. It cuts our logistics in half. We save money. Why not just have a 2-day event and be done with it? Cut down the divisions and then just do a 2-day event versus 2 separate tournaments.
But if you do that, if it's a 2-day tournament, you only got 1 payout.
They do the 2-day tournaments at the end.
Yeah, the super tournament.
Super tournaments, yes.
Make the Smith tournament, like example, make it a 2-dayer, charge a lot more, and then you can have this big sexy headline of like, we're paying out $10,000 or whatever for the event.
That still defeats. Nobody wants to pay out more for 2 days. Everybody wants a better payout. They want a cheap buy-in and a high payout.
This is also true.
And if you guys didn't watch, that was the BLAC video. Brian Latimer put out a video a couple weeks ago. Did you send it to us, Geek, or I found it? I can't remember. One of us watched it.
Hi.
Oh, you did. Yeah. And
I'd already seen it.
If you guys go back, I get to hang out with him this coming weekend, and I hope to really get to catch up with him and talk about that video, because you guys, entry fees have not gone up for like local derbies since I started. I'm still charging like $100 freaking. Nothing. I mean, gas has gone up from $1, like 80 cents a gallon, to like $3 a gallon. I mean, nothing has gone up. How do you guys think the payout's going to go up if the entry fee don't go up?
And I hate.
Well, you know what here's what I go back to when it comes to tournament anglers. It is this grandiose. I know guys who will go fish tournaments without a day of practice. It is like going to a poker game and you have no idea how to play poker.
That's how I roll.
I mean, it's just stupidity, in my opinion. And this is what you see out of a lot of local tournament anglers. It's gambling. I mean, let's not bullshit around.
I am
shocked.
Shocked.
It is gambling.
Yeah.
They're showing up with, and here's what kills me is that most tournament anglers have this. Oh God, help me out with the words, Thomas.
Delusions of grandeur.
Delusions of grandeur. That, you know what, man, this is my time to show up to this lake that I fish once a year, every single year, but I'm going to walk away with 10K, baby. And they're so against local hammers, look, there's a name for you. You are a donator. I'm a donator. I'm not judging you. I'm a damn donator right there with you. And who practices, okay? But God, man, you guys are so delusional.
Yeah,
I want to be mean to you, but damn, somebody needs to slap a moment of reality.
It's a casino. It's a flat out. It's a casino, man. We talked about this. Boyd Duckett.
Casino.
Yeah, he's called him the Indian Chief.
I love it, But if you want to complain, and I agree with 100% what B-Lat said, look, the BFLs, we got to kill the overhead. There's so much better ways. But how many anglers are going to listen when we sit there and go, hey, man, you know those Bubba scales, if we require everybody, man, you know how much those Bubba scales are? Well, you want the payouts to be better? Hey, you know what we could do? We could get rid of this stupid truck that's got all the electronics on it, and you walk across it, and we could just send you your checks and let you know, oh, wait a minute, I want to be able to hold my fishies up so I can look really cool, like I'm somebody. But then what do the tournament anglers do? No, we can't do that. We want it all. We want it all for $50.
Because you know who creates more drama and complains more than over zonked out wine moms in Beverly Hills? 60-year-old men who fish. Yes.
But it ain't even the 60-year-old men, man. I've run into, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that. It is the delusion of that bass has sold, and I'll go back to saying that kayak has sold. Kayaking sells it too. It sells that you can go out as the everyday angler and be somebody. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit right now. It's bullshit, people. It is a dream that they sell you so you buy shit like this.
Well, it's like
For you guys who are watching on YouTube, Geek's got a shitload of baits.
But yeah,
which I did not buy overnight. And YouTube did not buy for me. This is years. You know how long I've been going broke on shit? I've been fishing for 40 years.
Thomas, go ahead.
Sorry, Thomas.
It's no different than it's really bad in this sport. It's so bad, and if it's something that people want to be more comparable, like this happens in other sports too. I mean, Little League, travel baseball. I don't know if it's as bad where you guys are. Our place here, average team is $15,000 a year for a kid to be on at 13.
Yes. Travel ball, my granddaughter.
It's a nightmare, and it's like, what's the stick?
Guess what? It doesn't actually make that big of a difference, other than just going out and dedicating yourself and practicing.
Mm-hmm. No, because guess what? Half these people are going to lose their freaking job in college to a guy named Jorge from a Caribbean nation where he's got a stick and a rock. Because this is not baseball talk. Let me pull this back on the tracks here. But the point is, they're selling the dream, and the dream is a lie, because it's not. And part of it is, I'll keep saying this, it is not a sport. It is not like football where you can live in the inner city and you can run a 5.5 and Alabama will pay your way. None of that's going to, that's not happening in fishing. That will never happen in fishing. They have a veneer, a thin crust that anyone can do this and anyone can participate. And I've always said this, what bass has hurt that kayaking kind of took up just because the Overton window has shifted is random people are looking at it and be like, oh, that's too expensive. Because even though kayaks are getting more expensive, when you compare that to a boat that costs the same amount as a country in Africa, people are like, I can't do this. This seems more like the everyday man. Once that veneer is broken, bass is in a load of hurt because people will stop going. Why would I fish the opens when I know it's a sham and I can't afford it because of the scope or whatever, if you're going to use that as an excuse?
But we said that also, when Bass actually did a couple years ago, went away from the Bassmaster Bass Nation series. They didn't do away with it, but they added more ways for you to qualify to go fish the championship through the team series, and a bunch of other stuff they added, and it kind of hurt the Bass Nation of Virginia and all the other states kind of hurt. But then the Bass Nation of Virginia back then, this was about the same time the college kids were coming on, and they were pumping a lot of money into all these college kids because they saw the future. This is what we're, and we've built it up now. So we don't have anybody going to play minor league ball. They're all going to play in the major league ball right off the bat. And we've seen that, Trey McKinney and a lot of, I don't want to keep throwing his name out there. The kid's an awesome kid. He really is.
Well, there's a bunch of them. The guy that
I like him a lot. I'm not going to, I don't want to, whatever you guys think about the kid, I like him a lot. I know he come from rich parents. He's lucky as shit. 1%. Who out there wouldn't, daddy has I think a horse farm or something like that. Whatever. I mean, that's Thomas knows what a horse costs.
He can be my daddy any day. That's fine. But
yeah,
the thing I want to mention, which you saw about high school and college, which I probably should have brought up last week, but I'm going to do a video on this. I think Bass and FLW, which is now Major League Fishing, have done a grave disservice of they zeroed in on high school, which I think all sports did, about if we can take this gap here and we can jump this to our professional organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, this is our money ticket. What they had severe lack in judgment, and it's dying on the vine, is the grassroots local stuff. They completely abandoned the BFLs. They abandoned Bass Nation, the federation, Mr. Bass, because there was like, well, it's all high school. It's like, yes, that is a short-term gain, which, hey, college fishing, high school, blown up. It's great. But what's dying on the vine is those Thursday nighters. It's those little tournaments that basically make up, I think, the fabric of fishing in the United States. Why?
See, this is where me and you split.
Ooh, let's go.
This is where me and you split. And you're right, it is killing all those. It's 100% killing. But I think it's meant to. I don't think this was an accident.
Shit.
I don't think it was an accident at all. I don't think that it's poor planning. I think that what we've always heard about fishing is this: take a kid fishing.
Yep.
And if we get the kids involved, how many kids are fishing these high school tournaments compared to old farts like me? A BFL, where you're in some places where I'm at, if you've got 120 boats, you're doing pretty good. High school tournaments on the same lake, it's 300 boats.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like me. I played high school football, and I love football because of it. I wasn't good enough to be a pro, but I still watch religiously. So all these, if it's 300 boats, it's 600 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are not only, by doing high school and college, creating professionals, you are creating audience.
Mm-hmm.
And, just like you said you played baseball, right? High school. Did you play in college any?
Yep. And the biggest moneymaker is the Little League World Series.
There you go.
It
And how many baseball fans does that create?
Oh, it creates a lot. And it's cheaper. Like,
yes,
let's be real. Like,
yes.
And I love the Little League World Series. It's awesome.
I hate it. It's just communism, but we won't get into that. I mean, it's just
different podcast.
Yeah, different podcast there.
But it's the same concept.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know what? That's what Bass is looking at. Bass is saying, hey, to be a pro sport, we have to be the NFL. We have to be Major League Baseball. We have to be the NBA. Nobody plays recreational football other than flag football now. Nobody, I mean, you play slow pitch softball, and sure, there's a few rec leagues of basketball because, you need the smallest amount of space to be able to do that. And you can do that pretty much in my backyard if I really wanted to. But no, none of those people have the audacity to think they're going to be KVD at that age. Now, golf is a little bit different. Golf and fishing, a little closer.
Golf and fishing go hand in hand. That's probably, I ran it through the computer, and for what they both kind of offer, the pay-in, the payouts, kind of the different places, it's the closest thing to our sport is officially golf.
And I think that's why you see the NPFL really doesn't care about a feeder system, because they just created one since they did away with live scope. The MLF has never cared about a local. I mean, they bought it But have they done anything with that to change it? No, they've really made it worse.
Yeah, because they're just using it to feed their system.
Exactly.
Which again, if anyone's out there with a lot of money, there is, and I have said this a bunch on my show, there is a thriving need for local regional stuff like the Elite 70s does. You could take that formula that Steve did and put it all over the place, just small little regional pockets. Like it would do so well. Because again, people are like, I can't, like one thing is like, I don't want to travel that far. I don't want to do that. But you kind of want to still kind of be competitive. Like you said, church league softball, you have kids, you want to scratch that itch, get away from the wife because she's annoying you. We get it. But again, they're being left out, and they're the ones that have disposable income. That I agree with you that you're growing your audience, but you're growing your audience to people that have no money or even a line of credit, which is weird. When if you want them to be the bass boat people, I don't think a lot of these kids are getting free boats. I could be completely wrong. You know more about that than me. So.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's what's weird.
But now I do think the bass boat, the whole, let's just say boat industry as technology, I think you're going to see a lot of new things that we haven't thought about in the past. And especially when it comes
plastic
to that.
Boats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree. Or some sort of hybrid situation, to where you got some sort of reinforcement. I think you're going to start seeing that. Because what really thrives on the local scene is team tournaments. I mean, that's really what, and I go back to the Morristown Marine Team Trail. They average 235 boats, average 235 boats. Their payout is guaranteed $10K. Their buy-in equates to $75 per team member.
I'm going to go a step further. And just to add on what you said, it's the camaraderie aspect. If you're doing the local stuff, it is for the camaraderie.
That's what it's about.
For the local kayak stuff, for NVKBA and Mid-Atlantic, they buy out a bar or restaurant after each major tournament. So you can come in there, get like a free drink, and you just hang out and talk about it. So all the clubs, I think everyone's associated with a club, that there's that camaraderie aspect about it that is, again, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like church league softball. You go there, you drink some beers, you scratch the itch, and you hang out with your friends that you probably work with.
And that's what kayak fishing has over the bass boat, local bass boat, is the camaraderie. Is because I don't, sure, everybody wants to go. I mean, it's like I always tell everybody about YouTube. When I started YouTube, the God's honest truth is, I just wanted to do it to help people out like me who didn't have anyone who fished to teach them things. And sure, any person that starts YouTube that looks at you and say, "Oh, I never wanted to do it you're a liar." Because it's like buying a lottery ticket. Well, I didn't ever think I'd be rich, but about this lottery ticket, you never know. There's a chance in hell. Yeah. But, and I think that's what makes the kayaking, and I don't want to say this disrespectfully, but I'm a hillbilly. There's no real chance of being a pro in kayak fishing up until here the last 3 years, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. And what's the definition of pro?
Yeah. Like, pro, right? Like, you're getting paid.
How many patch pirates are in
you're building a big house, you're making money, real money.
There's just not enough sponsors there. The money's not deep enough. I don't care if you're bona fide or who you are. We've all seen what Hobie just did, and this year with them folding, and the money's not there yet for that. There's not enough big players in it.
But I think kayak fishing has got a great future. Like, I don't think it's going to be relegated. Don't get me wrong.
No.
I just think that the professional fishing companies have a whole different idea of where we're going and where they want to go than what we think it might be or we think it should be.
I I know what kayaking will look like in 10 to 15 years. To an extent, I have no idea what boats will look like in 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
That's what's weird to me. It's like a kayak is going to get more like a plastic boat, the end.
I ain't gonna lie, guys. Every time I see that freaking new Bonafide, I want that bitch.
I saw this meme. I'll send it to you after.
I mean, it is so nice. I mean, it looks like you in a little miniature boat.
Well,
I mean, it's $3,000, but I mean,
it's the gateway drug. It's like in the old horror movies, like, well, let's show a little bit of blood to see if we can get away with it. Oh, we can. Next movie, we're just prepping the audience for what's coming. I mean,
it's got its own deck. I mean, you got a
it has
deck to
Bass
stand
Cat
up
written
on.
on it. I mean, you know, like,
I mean,
And like I said, don't get me wrong. Like, I want a kayak. I want to fish the rivers around here so bad. But if, for me, look, you gotta understand, coming from a 51-year-old guy who weighs 330 pounds, I've worked hard for a lot of years. And when I go fishing, I'm probably 1 or 2 years from Bill dancing it. All right. I mean, I'm not, look, I ain't no fucking kidding now. That's
having
the
those
truth.
chairs that are like, what are
Yeah.
the chairs they have for your grandma so she can go up and down stairs, like something like that to get you in and out?
But so my thing is, I'm going to be comfortable and I'm going to carry all the equipment I want.
I don't think
so that I enjoy my day. Again, being the president of MAFA, as you can see, make fishing fun.
I mean, guys, I keep saying I got a boat outside that I still own, thank God, and I have a Thursday nighter tomorrow night, first one of the year. Yeah. I love boats. My thing is, like, from an industry standpoint.
Oh yeah.
How expensive is too expensive? And can it get too expensive ever? Can it become $300,000, $200,000? Like, it's the people that I kayak fish with. The biggest thing I hear of many things is, one is like, well, I'm not trying to go pro, that's why I'm in a kayak, or I just can't afford to do that dance. I don't have the time, energy, and resource to put into it, and so you go that avenue, and there's more and more people defecting to this dark side of it, and that to me is another indicator that there's something dying in the boat world that they need to fix. That it's not scope wise. There's something else that's tangibly broken on the boat side that they have to figure out what's going on.
I agree. And you know what I can't understand? Why are the damn 10 boats the same freaking price? Is it just because they can?
Well, yeah, like so I know the guy that runs Mara Marine in Virginia, who is the reason that Johnny Morris put a Bass Pro Shop in Baltimore. He told me, like, the biggest aluminum deposit we get our aluminum from was from Brazil. And when COVID happened and there was a big fight with them, they stopped making Grizzlies for a year or two, and they had to use their inventory. So you wonder, is that a resource that with the supply chains and these conversations? Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is why I just really would not be shocked if a Skeeter Boats are like, you know what, Bonafide, here's a check. We own you now, because this is fantastic. We just make a plastic boat and people will buy a new model every year. And that is why I think that's the dollar signs. There are so many people that upgrade kayaks every year when a new model comes out, because it's expensive, but not too crazy. It's like $2,000, whatever. You can deck it out. They're seeing dollar signs, man. You mean we can pump out new bitches every year and people are going to buy them? Holy crap. We're going to be rich. And that's where it's going, because again, $150,000. Good God, that's expensive for a boat. And I don't know.
We're gonna wrap that up right there. But the debate will continue, as always, here on Basscast Radio. Guys, the season keeps changing. We're midway. We're over midway now. So got a lot of great fishing going on left to happen. Basscast.com, our series will fire back up in the fall. We're not a big fan of the fish kill, so I hate to say it. I hate to be like that, but I don't like hosting tournaments when it's hot as crap outside and we're getting some 90-degree days and weather, and it's hard on the anglers and it's hard on the fish. And I like when you guys catch big old 5 and 6, 7, 8, and 10 pounders. Those bad boys go right back in the water. But guys, we really appreciate everyone listening tonight. before we run off, anybody got any closing words? We'll start Bass Geek real quick, and then we'll go Thomas, and we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Man, I got nothing. I just think I'm with you. It's going to be very interesting to see where the boat industry goes in the next even 5 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting. Of course, you know, the topic we were talking about before, who knows where anything's going to be in the next 5 or 10 years. But, you know, I mean, we're just going to keep pushing out content, man. That's what we do. We're going to keep talking about different and fun baits. If you enjoy fishing and you enjoy learning, you enjoy, you know, learning about new baits and new techniques for the time of year that we're setting in, that's what I love to talk about. So come hit me up.
All right, there you go, Thomas.
With all that said, Icon, if you'd like to send me a brand new boat, I would have a problem with that.
I mean, I'm on board.
I can find my house.
I saw one this weekend. I was up at Smith Mountain Lake. I had to run up last week. I ran up there real quick on Friday, and I went over.
They're nice.
Yeah,
They're
and that's
really nice.
A beautiful boat.
And when you open the door, it talks to you with a really like seductive European voice, which is interesting as well.
Have you actually seen one and all the electronics that's on these boats?
Looney Tunes. Dude.
It's crazy. The live wells and it's when they showed me, I was like, whoa.
Dude,
I mean, it's supposed to have on there, isn't it, like a call system built into the computer and all that stuff too, where you can enter?
Yeah, but it's just like one button touches for things that you just sit back and go. What?
It also has an AC unit, an HVAC unit, to where it will climatize the water to whatever temperature you want it to be.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yep.
Which
I'll be honest, that's probably one of the best inventions ever in a bass boat, because that's probably one of your main fish kills right there.
Yep. It has an oxygen injector, I think. It has a temperature thing. Like, those fish are spa for the 3 people that own one in the United States.
Like if I could fit in there, I'd use it as a sauna. Or not a sauna, but
all right, guys.
Ice bath.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody listening tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back right here next week. Got like I said, we'll be wrapping up the James River, heading to the Potomac River. I'll be heading into some vacation. So it's a lot going on around here. And then July like we talked about earlier, there's some BFLs on the James River, so we'll be up there for those. So it's time to head north right here at the basscast.com. Appreciate you guys listening. Again, don't forget to head on over now and enter for the pair of sunglasses. Sign up now to get entered. I'll put the link in the show notes, by the way, for the Bill Dance sunglasses. And appreciate you guys being a part of Basscast Radio. Have a great week, everyone. Be safe out on the water. As always, wear your life jackets. It's getting the crazy summertime is here. So please be safe, and we'll talk to you guys again next week right here on Basscast Radio.